And you need to know all those things by heart. It is in the script. It does tell you what you need to know, but you need to know it by heart. Because you got to keep in mind, you're going to be meeting with people sometimes in person. You can't carry your script with you. You know that, right? You can't meet somebody at Starbucks and have your script with you. Hey, good to see you today. So you want to get your credit fixed. Oh, okay, that's great. Yeah. So what is it you're trying to achieve by getting your credit score? Oh, you're trying to buy a new house. And what do you know what your current credit score is? And do you know what, I mean, come on. That's not going to work. You can't do that. One time I got pulled over by a guy who was following me because of my magnets. And I didn't even know why he was following me at first. You know, he was flashing his lights, and we were turning left, and I was in front of him. He was flashing his light, hitting his horn, and finally I realized, oh, okay, he wants to track me down because he couldn't get the information off the side of my car. So I pulled into a gas station about 3 miles down the road, and he followed me in. I'm in one parking spot. There's a space, and then he's in one parking spot. We roll down our window and say, hey, can I help you? He goes, yeah, I was trying to get the information off the side of your truck. I said, oh, okay. You're looking to increase your credit score. He goes, yeah. I said, what is it you're trying to accomplish? Now, I went through the whole thing. Could you imagine if I had a script there? Could you imagine if he lowered his window, I lowered my window, and I was like, oh, can I help you? Yeah, I'm trying to increase my credit score. Oh, really? Oh, okay. What are you trying to achieve by increasing your credit score? Oh, you're trying to buy a house. Oh, I see. Okay, and do you know what your current credit score is now? Oh, okay. And you know what negative item? Hey, why are you getting out of your car and coming over here? Yeah, that ain't going to work. You got to know the script. If you don't know the script, call your upline. You understand? Don't try to do things that you don't know how to do. That's why even with a car magnet, it's so simple. You might say, how can I put a car magnet on my car? I don't even know the script. I don't even know how to talk to people yet. You don't need to. Put them on your car. Get a call. Take a message. Hello, can I help you? I'm calling because I want to learn how I can increase my credit score. Great, I'm just the answering service for the company. And who am I speaking with, please? And your number is? Perfect. Listen, I'm going to pass along this information to one of our credit advisors, and I'm sure you'll be getting a call pretty soon. Have a great day, and then call your upline up and say, I got a sale, I think. This ain't that hard. You got to work hard, but the business ain't that hard. I look at this business as a lot like playing golf. It is. It's a lot like playing golf. It's so simple. It's so simple. What we do is so simple, but it's still challenging. It's challenging. The game of golf is simple. Get the ball in the hole. That's it. That's the whole game. Get the ball in the hole. But it's challenging to get the ball in the hole. Yes. Same thing here. Simple. This stuff's simple. It's challenging. That's why you got to work on it. That's why if you play golf, you got to work on your golf game so you can get better and eventually get the ball in the hole a lot faster. Same thing here. In the beginning, it's challenging. Let other people help you. Let other people help you. But know those price points so that you can utilize that. What if the person at $350, if they didn't have that what if I came back and they said, man, there's just no way I could do it? Well, that's why I have the split pays. See how nice is that? They told me they have $350. This is a done deal because I can come back and say, wow, okay, listen, let's go a different direction. Here's what we could do. You have $350. As a matter of fact, you're going to save $100 today. Instead of going the route of paying the $399, which I know you don't have, here's what we could do. We could do a split payment. Today, you could just put down $250. You're going to be underway. 30 days, you can pay for the service in 2 payments, and you'll be able to get going today, and we'll work towards increasing that credit score. So there's a multitude of ways to do it. All you need to know is what does somebody have to work with. Now, let's say somebody goes, man, I just wanted to get information. I'm not able to get started today. Even when that happens, I still try to get their information. So what I do is just go to another direction, and I'll just say, listen, if I go for the discount and they still say they can't do it and they don't have the financials available, then I'll say, look, in order for me to be able to hold your discount, I need your information. If I can get your information, I can hold your $100 discount. If you can give me a date as to when you believe that we could actually run this to make it happen. And I'll get somebody's name, address, email address, date of birth, social, all of that stuff, and their credit card information. And they'll give me a date. They'll give me a date 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now. They'll give me a date. Or sometimes they'll give me the information and say, hey, before you run it, call me first just to make sure. And sometimes they won't give me that information, but I always take a shot. I always try to go through the whole process because you'd be amazed how many people will give you that information. And what's great about having that information, it makes it a lot easier to follow up with those people because you can call them back, right? You can call them back 2 weeks later like you're supposed to. Maybe they don't return your call. Maybe they're not responding. And then I can do these kinds of things. Hey, I just wanted to call you. If you recall, I have all your information, including your Social Security number. So listen, what you want to do is just give me a call back. My phone number is, it's all so subtle too. That always works. You have my Social Security number? I told you needed LifeLock. No, I'm just kidding. So make sure you paper the sale. You got to paper that sale. So important to remember that. Don't just put it in the system. Don't just put it in the system. And of course you have the add-ons too. You have Rental Karma. So when you're talking to somebody, ask the question of somebody. Hey, let me ask you, I want to make sure we get your credit score up to where it needs to be. Do you currently own or rent? So ask that question. Do you currently own or rent? And obviously if somebody owns, you go, that's fantastic. That's great. I'm sure that's hopefully helping you to have good credit. But if they say they rent, then you can get into Rental Karma and say, listen, one of the things we could do is we could add a positive trade line to your credit profile. And we talk about the fact that we can take up to 2 years worth of payment history where they have been renting and put that on their TransUnion credit report. What's great about that is, those scores can go up. We've seen scores go up literally 50 points, 60 points, 80 points, and that, of course, is what we're looking to help people to do. And it's the same thing with the First Progress secured card. If they don't have enough positive trade lines or they have only all negative items, this is another great thing to help somebody to sign up for so we can start building positive credit while those negative items are coming off so that the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, we're adding another positive trade line. And this reports to all 3 credit bureaus as well. So those are additional things that you can upsell and you can offer people. Not that it pays a ton of money to us, but it's really a service for them because you want to satisfy a client. And you're not going to have a satisfied client if somebody has all negative items. And even if we do a great job of getting all those negative items off, if they don't have any positive trade lines. By helping people get their secured card, by helping people get on a Rental Karma program, something like that, it's going to make a huge difference. And then again, is our focus the protection plan? Certainly it is. And keep in mind, you can also get somebody and present the option of adding the life insurance that if they sign up and they pay the $199, and I let them know that it's basically our agent fee. However, you don't need to do the functions of an agent. If all you want to do is go out and refer some people to me and we can get 5 customers, you can get your protection plan for free and ultimately then put yourself in a position to have up to $100,000 in life insurance in the next 12 months. So you'll have $30,000 within 90 days and then up to $100,000 in 12 months. So I also give them that option as well in terms of them being able to do that. And some people do and some people don't. But just know all your price points, what there are, how Rental Karma, what's the cost of that, First Progress, and all this stuff is available when you go to your products in your website. That's why some of this is your responsibility. We're teaching you and sharing with you all these things, but you got to take the responsibility to know these products and go online and look those things up. And that's really the sales process. Now, this financial literacy challenge is a great thing to do if you're in a group, especially individually too. I've sold a lot of protection plans by putting this in front of people and them just at the end saying, wow, I need all of this. Because that's what's going to happen. The majority of people need all of it. So what this does is highlight and identify the fact that they don't have it. But this is a great thing to use in a group. Let's say you're meeting with 10 or 15 people, 20 people, 25 people, and you're just doing a financial seminar. You're just doing an education program. You're not doing an overview. What a great way to start the program, because what does it do? Wake you up. Yeah, I don't have a 750 or above. I don't have that. I don't have a will, trust, power of attorney. Yep, I don't have identity theft protection. Right from the get-go, you're opening people up. And then after you went through this, then you move on and do your presentation, which is all about the protection plan. In other words, how you can solve the problem. Okay, you don't have these services. You may not feel like you're in the best financial position or financially literate. hey, we got a solution with the protection plan membership. So this is a great tool to utilize, and that's why you got to have the tools. You can't build a structure. You can't build a house without the tools. So you got to have the tools. That's just so important. All right, one more quick thing to go over. One other component, right, you got people that become agents, we work with them. We got people that we have to work with as clients that are going to become customers, of course. And then you have the referral business. And the referral business has to do with corporate accounts. It has to do with asking people that may not have an interest in our business, where are you going to get those referrals from? So there's some really great scripts that are available in relation to getting those referrals. So let's go over a few scenarios. What we all have to realize is that each time you share the opportunity, if somebody doesn't have an interest, all you got to do is ask to see if they can lead you to someone else. And I think that's one of the things that we do the least. I think people do show the business. I do think people try to get people to be agents. I do think people talk about the service and try to get clients. But I think the thing that people do the least is when they have somebody that may not have an interest in either of those things, we don't go through the protocol and the process of trying to get at least one referral. And that's why we say the power of one. Because really one person can make a huge difference in your business. And just imagine if every year you get one person that is the one, somebody that can go out and perform at a high level. I mean, even if every year you help one person become a sales director, in your second year one of those people becomes a regional and so forth and so on, you can see how 5 years from now you've got a pretty substantial business because you went out and found the right people a few times. Try to get one from everyone. I'll give you an example. Somebody takes a look at the opportunity, maybe it's not for them, and you're able to share with them. Just ask the question, hey, listen, I understand it's not for you. I'm sure you want to see me do well at my business, don't you? Of course, everybody's going to say yes to that. If you're talking to a friend, a family member, even if you said that to a complete stranger and said, hey, I'm sure you want to see me do well in my endeavor here with FES, what do you think the most common answer would be? Sure, yes, why not? And then you just simply say, hey, listen, let me ask you a question. Who do you know? Just one person you think might be a good fit for this. Always just get in the habit of asking that question. Who do you know? Just one person you think might be a good fit for this. And that's, again, on your referral script. So you have a referral script right here. That's on there. And wait for a response. You can't ask for 50 people because nobody's going to give you 50 people, right? You can't go, hey, could I look through your phone? You're probably not going to get the best response. But asking for one person isn't unreasonable. Somebody could say, well, I do know somebody, and oftentimes I've gotten a response like, I have a friend who actually likes entrepreneurial endeavors. His name is, or whatever the point is. But let's say somebody, for instance, says, hey, let me think about it. I don't know anyone. I'm not too sure. Let me get back to you. You have all these different things that somebody might say. But we all know that everybody knows at least one person, maybe not that they think is a good fit for this, but somebody in real estate, the mortgage business, and so forth. Because we asked you, remember we said, how many of you in here know at least one person, either in real estate, the car business, the mortgage business, and everybody raised their hand. So we know everybody outside of this room. It's the same thing. When you ask them, hey, who do you know? Just one person you think might be a good fit for this, and they say, let me give it some thought, or I don't know anybody. Whatever it is they say, repeat what they say back to them in the form of a question. So if they say, hey, I don't know anyone, you don't know anyone? If they say, let me think about it, you got to think about it? Whatever it is they say, it doesn't matter. Man, I got to go to the bathroom right now. You got to go to the bathroom right now? I got to take my kids to soccer practice. You got to take your kids to soccer practice? It doesn't matter what they say. Repeat it back to them in the form of a question. And then follow it up. Don't pause, but just for a second. Once you follow it up, then you say, you mean you don't know at least one person? Let's say in real estate. I mean, you know one person in real estate, don't you? Or the mortgage industry, or the car business, or one person with less than perfect credit. Because you see, what I do here with FES can help that person in what they do. So you know one person in real estate, don't you? I mean, who might that person be? And you ask, and you get specific now. You get specific to a realtor, or a mortgage person, or the car business. And you're able to say, so you know one person like that, don't you? Because what I do here at FES can help them in what they do. And it's real simple. Do you know somebody in real estate? You know one person like that, don't you? And let's say they say yes. Say, great. Let me ask you a question. Do you think the person you know in real estate sometimes runs into potential prospects that are unqualified to buy a home? Do you think that's possible? What do you think they would say to that? Yes. and say, listen, if I can show your friend a way where they could turn an unqualified buyer into a qualified buyer so they could sell more homes, don't you think they would appreciate knowing about that? They would, wouldn't they? Of course. So great. Who might that person be so I could reach out to them, let them know you were thinking of them in relation to helping their business? First, you start out with maybe a good fit, but then you get away from that. If they're not as open to that, go for the specific person, the realtor, the mortgage person, the car business, or anybody with less than perfect credit or something in a credit-related industry. Now, once you get that contact, then you got to pick up the phone and make that call. So you just let the person know. If I was talking to Derek and he was the person that was giving me the contact and the contact was Nicole, I'd have to say, hey, Derek, listen, I'm going to give Nicole a call. I'm just going to let her know you thought it'd be a good idea if I reached out to her because you thought that something that you saw may be of interest to her. Just letting you know. He goes, fine. So I call up Nicole on the phone. Hey, Nicola. Or is Nicola there? Yes, this is Nicola. Hey, my name's Greg Ammerman. You know Derek Smith, don't you? Well, right there's the connection. Yeah, I know Derek. I say, hey, Derek thought it'd be a good idea if I reached out to you. Thought that something I shared with him might be a good fit for you. Do you got a minute? Maybe she says no. Maybe I have to reschedule. Maybe she says, sure, I got a minute. He said, you know, what I shared with him, thought it may work well for you based upon what you do. Let me ask you a question. He mentioned that this particular thing may be a good fit in that, are you keeping your options right now in your career? Now, here's the good thing. This is not going towards real estate or anyone specific in the credit industry. It's just somebody that might be a good fit. Here's the thing. When you ask somebody you have no real relationship with, do they keep their options open? The odds are what they're going to say is, what is it? They're not going to give you an answer. Now, they might say no, but if they say no, then they don't keep their options open. But if they say, what is it? That's the same thing as saying yes. That's the same exact thing as saying yes. Do you keep your options open? Well, let me ask you, what is it? Well, I happen to work with a financial services company, and we're expanding right now in this market, and we're looking for some really good people as we expand. Let me ask you, how many people out there today have less than perfect credit? How many people have, a considerable amount of debt? And like everybody else, well, a lot of people. Yeah, great. Here would be a good thing to do. It won't take a lot of your time. If I sent you a video, it's about 5 minutes long to take a look at it. I don't know if it's going to be for you or not. As I said, Derek thought you might be a good fit. But if you take a look at the video, it may pique your interest, and then certainly we can go forward from there. When do you think you'll have about 5 minutes to take a look at this video? And you're kind of going back to the other script. So a lot of it rolls from one to the other to the other. It's all redundant, as I've been sharing with you. Once you know the terminology, the verbiage, and you just keep using it again and again and again, you're going to get more comfortable with it and get a more positive result. Now, obviously, if I sent her the video, I would get a response, just like any other person. Hey, Nicole, did you have a chance to take a look at the video? What was your interest level? And I'd find out. And let's say, for instance, even if Nicola came back to me and said, hey, I took a look, I don't think it's for me, I would say, I can appreciate that. Hey, Nicola, let me ask you a question. I'm sure you want to see me do well with what I do in my career, don't you? And she would say, even though she was a stranger, she still would say, yeah, sure. Great, Nicole, let me ask you, who do you know, just one person you think might be a good fit for this? Well, I'm not really sure. You're not sure, Nicole? Let me ask you a question. Do you know maybe one person that is in the real estate industry, the mortgage industry, or in the car business? One person like that? Because you see, what I do with FES can help them in what they do in their career. And I'm sure you'd like to see your friend, whoever that might be, do better in what they do, wouldn't you? I just do it because I don't care. What is she going to do, hang up on me? Maybe. I don't care. Why don't I care? Because I got 5,000 agents on my team, and I make $25,000 a month. I don't care. I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. See, some of you, the problem is you take it all personal. You got to harden yourself up. Remember, you got to be brave. You got to be strong. You got to be tough. You got to be tough. Listen, tough things that happen, rejection, tough times, they go away. Tough people, they don't. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. Just ask. Just ask. We had a lesson from the Bible, remember? Not a religious sermon, just a lesson. If you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. Today's lesson, it says, ask and you shall receive. That's it. So all you got to do is ask. Most of us don't ask. We don't ask for stuff. I'm always asked for stuff. I do. Everywhere I go, I ask for stuff. I go into a store, I always go up to the counter. I go, hey, by chance, you got a coupon for anything that I've got here? I always ask, what do I have to lose? I went into an Office Depot not too long ago. I said, hey, you guys have some coupons. I know you probably have out this time of year. Do you have anything back there that you could utilize? And the guy pulls out this thing and he goes, this 20% coupon you mean? Yep, that one. Boop. 20% off. Just because I asked. I go to hotels and I'll ask for upgrades. Hey, listen, you know, by chance you can upgrade me to a better room? Why not? You never know. Michael Johnson, executive sales director out of Minnesota, at 3 conventions ago, went up because he takes this stuff literally and he asks, he says, hey, is there any way I can get an upgrade to a better room? Ends up getting the presidential suite. Just because you ask. I mean, I always ask for stuff. Hey, you got some breakfast coupons you could throw in for my stay while I'm here? You'd be amazed how many times they just give you stuff. You just have to ask because you have nothing to lose. They could just say no. So a lot of us are just afraid to ask. Why? Because as a kid, we asked all the time, and what did we get? Number one answer. No. So now we don't ask anymore. We were told no so many times, like, yeah, I just ain't asking. It's going to be a no. And you can't think that way. You have to go back to being a kid. I tell my kids all the time, and believe me, I'm just like every other parent. We certainly say no plenty. But here's what I always tell my kids. Even when we say no, 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 we always say, hey, but you took a shot. You took a shot, and I love that, and I want you to keep taking a shot. Don't think just because we said no right now, keep taking shots. Don't ever stop taking shots because it won't always be a no. There'll be a lot of yeses along the way. It's just no for right now. That's it. You're just training your kids just like you're training your agents. You got to do the same exact thing. So you got to ask. Now, if you get on the phone with a realtor, for instance, it's a little different dialogue. So if I'm going out, I'm on the phone with Leonette. I'm calling up, hey, Leonette, my name is Greg Amerman. You know Derek Smith, don't you? And she goes, yeah. And I say, hey, Leonette, just wanted to give you a call. I know you're in the real estate industry. Derek spoke highly of you. Just want to take a minute, and we may have a situation where maybe I can benefit your business. Do you have just a short time? And maybe she'll reschedule. Maybe she'll get on the phone, and I'll say, listen, I work with a financial services company, and one of the things that we're really good at doing is helping people significantly increase their credit score. Hey, let me ask you a question. Do you run into some of your clients that may be unable to get approved because of credit? You know, I just ask the question and say, yeah, sometimes I do. And I say, listen, if there were a way to turn some of your unqualified buyers into qualified buyers, maybe to do some more business, sell a few more homes, would that be something of interest to you? Great. When can we get together, sit down, and I can walk you through how our program works? Or when can we get together on the phone that I can walk you through how our program works? Is now a good time? You know, when is a better time? That's all in the script. All in the script. See, I just know the scripts by heart. You got to know the scripts by heart. Because, of course, it comes a lot more natural when you do that. Because you don't want to read the script. You want to be natural with it. You want to use your own terms, your own verbiage, but you want to stay in the context of the script. And a lot of what you say to a realtor or somebody in the mortgage business, someone in the car business, it's the exact same things you would say to a client. The only difference is you would turn it into third person. So what I would say to a realtor is I would say, look, this is what we do for your clients, instead of saying what we do for you. But it's the same exact thing. It's the same exact demo when you show them the demo. It's the same exact thing with the protection plan. You still can show them the same exact thing. You can show them that, hey, your clients will pay $87 a month for all these credit-related services that will help them to pay off their debt, protect their identity, all those things to help them with not only getting a great credit score, but maintaining it. As a matter of fact, your clients will be really happy that they were turned on to this service, which will only mean they'll want to do even more business with you and refer people to you. The folders, by the way, are really valuable because the folders give a game plan right in there. If you look at a credit restoration folder, inside of it, it has bullet points. And those are the bullet points you want to utilize in relation to a corporate account. Like when you think about customer retention, you think about customer loyalty, when you think about getting more referrals, those bullet points inside your folder tell the story. They tell the story of what the service can do for them. That's what you want to do. You just want to know the script and you want to ask for those referrals. And listen, everyone's not going to cooperate. Everyone's not going to cooperate. You're not going to get one from everyone, but you should ask for one from everyone. But just know it comes with the territory. Not everybody's going to do it. So after you get the referral, you can have them watch the video. After you get referrals, you can get them on the phone. And if you look at the script, what does it say? The script says make an appointment for your upline sales director to do the talking. So if you know somebody in real estate, but again, you're new and you don't know what to say and you don't know how to say it, make an appointment with somebody else who can get on the phone and do the talking for you. Terrence Smalls, who's a regional sales director, when he was relatively new, before he knew the information, he made an appointment for me to go to a car dealership with him, and I did. And we went down there, and I sat with the owner of 5 dealerships, and there were like 12 general managers and assistant general managers sitting around a table, and I had to land this deal. Well, he utilized me. Terrence didn't say anything. He set it up. I went in there. I presented to them. I answered some of their questions, and we got the deal. It wasn't an ongoing deal. It was more of a short-term fix to a problem they had. But in that 1 month, he sold 112 $399 sales. And because he used the process and the system. Utilize somebody else. Don't feel you got to do it yourself, as I've been saying all along. And then the last thing, look, you want to stay in people's mental Rolodex. And one of the best ways to do that is to just continue to let your friends know, your family members know, especially like this is a good time of year around the holidays. Hey, what's going on? Everything's great. Amazing things happening. Listen, just keep your ears and your eyes open. If you know anybody has any credit challenges, you know anybody looking to significantly increase their credit score, or they need any of the services we offer, hey, make sure you keep me in mind. Make sure you pass them along to me. And I remind my friends of that all the time. You know, I have a running joke with some of my friends. Some of my friends could literally come in front of the room right now, and I could just start them out by saying, and remember, and they would say, I know, Greg, I know. If I know anybody has any credit challenges, wants to significantly increase their credit score, make sure I pass them along to you. So I have some of my friends who could do that verbatim because of how many times I've told them that. But that's how you get inside someone's mental Rolodex. Because they're not going to think of you if you don't keep in front of them. That's why you send them a magazine. You got to drip and drip and drip and put it out there. Not only so they get in the business, so that they remember you when they're in conversation with a friend of theirs at dinner and their friend just bought a new car and got an interest rate of 14% and they're complaining about their credit and, man, I can't believe this or that. That's when you want your friend to go, ding, ding, ding. I know somebody that can help you with this. And if you didn't do a good job of getting inside someone's mental Rolodex, they're not going to think of you. Think about all the business you give to other businesses because that business is inside your mental Rolodex. There's lots of places that you do business with that you automatically, if something comes up, you spit that out because you believe in it so much and it has value. You got to make yourself that person to them. That's very, very important. Listen, it's been a great weekend. I want to share something with you as we end, and I want to remind you, make sure what we started with, we end with. You came here to get trained, and hopefully you feel like you walked out of here with a lot more than you began with. And follow the system, and that's so important. And then continue to realize, when's the next time you can get your team trained? When's the next time you can put people in that Secrets of Success training? Implement what you learn and just continue to sell out to the process, the system, because it'll work for you if you just build the trainings. The trainings are going to build your business. And then something that for new people, you're new, you just came, a lot of information. It can even be overwhelming to some degree. And so here's what I want you to remember. 3 things, right? Triple E. E, give a great effort. How many can give a great effort? Yeah. Give a great effort. You know what else you got to do? Bring the energy. Give energy to what you're trying to accomplish. And then lastly, be efficient. And how do you be efficient? Use the process. Use your upline. Use your expertise. Don't try to do it all yourself. And if you do those 3 things, you know what you're going to do a lot of? A lot of exposure. And exposure is going to equal the end result that you want, which is getting people involved, getting clients, getting customers, and all of that, and that's what you want. So we started out, we said we're going to teach you absolutely, unequivocally, everything you possibly need to know about FES and in order to succeed in FES. And I feel like we've obviously done that, but the question is, did you hear it? Did you comprehend it? Did you agree with it? And most importantly, you're going to leave here and apply it. And some of you, of course, already need another Secrets of Success training, like tomorrow, but we don't have tomorrow. We know that that's what we did this weekend. We know that's what you got to go do now. It's up to you. Number 2, it's up to you. You got to go out and do it. Now, as we leave here, I'm really excited that my mom had an opportunity to come. I would not be where I am today in any way, shape, or form. I could promise you, from the start of my career, as my mom lent me $6,000, which was probably a bad idea, okay? Now, it worked out really well because she believed in me. But my mom has believed in me all along. My mom has been with me from the time I signed up in my career the entire time. 25 25 years. She's been here every step of the way since I signed up in FES. She's been at every convention with FES, and she's just an amazing woman. So being this is my last official Secrets of Success training, like I've done for everything else, I got to give a special shout out to her because I am who I am because she is who she is. And a lot of you know my mom because you talk to her on the phone sometimes. She's hardcore too. You know if you call her on the phone, she don't mess around. Oh no, she don't mess around. She's going to get the deal done. She has learned well, without a doubt. So it's just awesome to be here this weekend. You know, I thought of how I would end this particular day and being in the official capacity that I am, and I thought of something that I thought would be most meaningful. And really, you know, it's thinking about how did I get here? Why did I get here? And when I think back 25 years ago, right prior to getting involved in this industry, I was at a place where something specific had happened to me that really pushed me over the edge to know I had to do more in my life. And I think really to be successful, you have to get to that place where it's just an epiphany to realize how lucky you are to be in a place that you actually could do something about your situation. You see, when I was a social worker, I got to see a lot of things probably most people should never have to see, especially like the people that I was dealing with, kids. And I'll never forget one of the young kids that I worked with, a young boy, he was 7 years old, his name was Curtis. And, you know, I worked really, really hard with his mom to help her to get her life together, get new housing, get off of drugs. And I'll never forget, I had him going on supervised visits, and this so close. And one weekend, he had an opportunity to go home and to spend time with his mom. And this was one of the last times that he would have to come back to his foster home. He'd be able to go home permanently. And so he went that weekend, but the unfortunate part is he didn't come back as he was supposed to. And of course, we react to that. I was notified of that, and I started to immediately go to the home where he went to visit his mom. And when I went there, there was, no answer. And the police were also now looking for this child. I mean, there was a serious search for this child and this mother, and they were nowhere to be found. Well, every day of that week, I went back to that home. Every day. Because I felt responsible. I was a part of this. And I had built a relationship with this young boy, and I couldn't imagine something happening to him. And on about the fourth or fifth day, I remember going there, and I remember hearing noise inside that apartment. And I was banging on the door and banging on the door. I never thought of myself. I never thought, look at the neighborhood I'm in. Look at the environment I'm in. What's going on in there? Why am I here by myself? I never thought of that. That wasn't until way later. And I was pounding on the door, and finally the door swung open. And about 15 to 20 people ran out just in the hallway. All these people started spilling out in the hallway and running different directions and down the stairwell. And I don't know, and I hope this has never been the case. And these are what I mean by you see things that nobody should see. But I walk into this apartment, and there's crack smoke everywhere. And I see Curtis's mother sitting on a chair like this. And I go up to her, I go, where's Curtis? Where's Curtis? And she can't even communicate. She's so out of it. And all of a sudden I hear, Greg, is that you? Greg, is that you? And I go into the other room, and under a cot, crawled up on the floor in like the fetal position, he's just under there freezing. He literally doesn't have any pants on. He has a t-shirt. And I reach down and I go, it's okay, come on. And I grab his hand, and we go out, and I pick him up, and we go down the stairs, and we get in my car, and we start driving. And as I'm driving, and I'm so glad I got him, and I'm so relieved, but it hits me. What am I going to say to him? I understand. I don't understand, because I never had to go through anything like that in my life. I don't understand. I didn't know what to say. But what hit me more than anything else was when I brought him back to his foster home, and once we got him settled, and once we talked a little bit, it hit me. And that is, what am I doing with my life? Because I got a chance. He was at a point in his life, he didn't have a choice. He was subjected to this. He didn't ask for it. What am I doing with my life? I've been given so much. I could do something special with my life because not everybody gets that opportunity. And that's when I decided I got to do something to live my life to the fullest. And that's what I ask you. What have you been through? And when's it going to be your time to live your life? Because you know what? You got what a lot of people don't have, a choice to do something great in your life. And FES can be that vehicle to help you to do it. And we can do it together. And we will do it together. God bless you.